I like ladies that are green.
They cut the hard line. There's no time. You're going to have to get to another exit.
See a set of keys around here.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
No time for podcast.
I can't be bothered with that. I have no time for that sort of nonsense.
By the way, total Pete move. We were in Wisconsin yesterday, and I'm like, well, I got to get spotted cow because I'm in Wisconsin. And so we go to Louis Meats. Old man, we were at Louis Meats.
Unfamiliar?
Yeah. And so I see a case, grab the case. All the cases look the same. And I grab it and I look at the one below it and it says spotted cow. I'm like, okay, cool.
Did you get Moon Man?
No, thank God, because that would have been even worse. I got fat
Delicious.
squirrel.
What's fat squirrel?
It's an ale. I got a case.
That's worse?
Then Moon Man for me. Yes, I'm not an IPA guy.
You lack flavor? Is that what you're telling me?
I like a lot of things. Tact.
So what you're telling me is you bought me a case of squirrel.
Do you want a case of fat squirrel?
Are you calling me a fat squirrel?
Well, Jeremy's a squirrel guy, right?
True. Question is if he's a gray squirrel or red squirrel.
Albino?
We have one of those in our neighborhood.
Yeah. You don't seem very often.
No. So what are the chances that our friend Jeremy Bishop shows up to the second part of the podcast? Percentage.
I'll take the under at 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50. We'll see.
So less 49-50, 49-51? Are you going under?
I'll take the under. Absolutely.
Is that because he can't click on the link, or is that because
did I read the text right when I was gone that he struggled the first time with that? He must have been clicking on an email and accidentally clicked on the link. Did he move?
Yeah.
He thought of porn.
Yeah, I was watching some porn for a moment there, but now I'm back.
Good job.
It only takes 5 minutes.
Classy. Clean up and everything.
I gotta let the dog out.
He's a euphemism all.
It used to be, I don't know, clean the kitchen. I don't know. I got nothing.
I gotta do my laundry.
Yeah, I got called for roughing the passer.
Flogging the bishop?
Nice.
Yeah, how do you feel about that euphemism?
I hate that euphemism. Yeah, I hate that euphemism.
What is your? I mean, you prefer what? Boxing the clown?
Boxing clown, beating the snake.
My favorite is burping the worm.
Burping the worm.
Let's be serious here. As alumni, we all like choking the gopher.
Taming the one-eyed shrew. Yeah.
Trolling the netherways.
What? Where do you get this?
He's just making shit up at this point.
Jeremy's literate, so he can come up with stuff on the fly.
Yeah, that's true.
I read a lot of sci-fi, so.
What does sci-fi stand for?
Test. Hurry up. 1, 2.
Science fiction. Come on.
Did you get it?
So, sex with aliens? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. No, there's some sex with aliens. Yeah.
You're pro William Shatner and his conquest of multicolored alien species from different planets.
I like ladies that are green
and with gills.
Obviously, we're going to have to lead off the intro to this thing with ladies that are green.
Yeah. Someone mark
context would only ruin it.
Yes, context would make it worse.
So, it's going to be deep into the podcast for me to remember to put this at the beginning of the podcast. So
I can page you, and then we can reminder.
Yeah. All right. 3 podcasts in. Let's go.
All right, wait, hold on. Let's look at the list here. Oh, you've crossed off so much, old man.
We've covered so much. Yeah. Google Doc I sent you earlier multiple times.
Or at the Ask Me Anything point.
Or we could talk about Pete and Andy Larson sending comic book cards. I don't know those existed, but I'm not not shocked that they exist.
No, that's I love those comic book cards.
So Pete and I co-own some comic book cards.
So you're co-parenting? Are you co-parenting, or how is this working?
Co-parenting the cards.
Seems like they're always with me.
He has full-time custody.
I'll bring this up though too. Pete bought his first slabbed comic book, and he has it.
You slabbed your own comic book?
No, I acquired it slabbed. I didn't actually buy it.
What is it?
Is that when you 18 plus on your comic book?
No, I don't think it's anything that requires that. But it's slabbed, so I can't read it to verify. At least the one I had.
But the word slab sounds like you did something nefarious.
It's been assessed by a third-party grading company and assigned a grade. That grade was 9.0, and it was the first appearance of Shang-Chi.
I approve.
So, yeah.
Did you read that off a script? Like it sounded like you
No, it's up here. This thing right here, just a vice of memories and recall. I have excellent recall.
So better than Jeremy is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's is better than mine.
Yeah.
All right,
Jeremy, I gotta ask, what are the handles behind your head? Is that for what is that for? Talk to me.
We talked about that earlier. That's his biking desk.
Oh yeah, no, that's Peter. I got that from you. That's you and Steph gave me that. That's my. I actually do ride that thing. It's an exercise bike I got that you guys used to have in your bedroom, Peter.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, well, it wasn't. But...
Didn't remember that.
Or it was somewhere.
He doesn't ride.
It's not like it's not the Ass Pounder 5000 from Always Sunny or anything crazy like that.
But I do. Strangely enough, I do actually ride it to episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because that's like my time meter. It's like I'll watch 2 episodes and I'll ride it for 2 episodes.
Well, I got nothing but respect for that. It's an amazing show. Yeah. And the time it's about right. That 45 minutes, right?
Yeah. For 2 episodes. Yeah. I could do it always works out like I always think I'll just do 1 episode and then I get done with the 1 episode and it's like it doesn't seem like I'm still going and I'm like, oh, I'll just put a second episode on and I just keep going. And I like it because I do feel like I'm doing something. I don't know.
So, no, I want to hear more.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
Now, have you caught any of the new season of Sunny?
Yeah, it's been enjoyable. There's been some bummer episodes, but for the most part, there's 6 episodes in, I think, right now. And
what season are we on? Like season 345?
Yeah,
16 or 17?
Yeah, and there's still like 4 more. Like they're already signed for like 4 more seasons.
Yeah, they signed for a couple more after this. Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Just keep bringing the content, man. I don't care if it's just calling Dee a bitch for 20 minutes every episode. I'll still laugh.
Yeah,
and
if you want a mildly humorous comedy for 20 years, if you let them,
yeah.
Get that.
I appreciate it. No, it's. I mean, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and it holds 0 value. It offers nothing to society, and that's okay with me.
Your favorite episode is still Dumpster Baby? ?
Probably not. Wade Boggs is up there. The Wade Boggs episode. Thunder Gun Express is absolutely amazing. A great 23 minutes.
All of the Lethal Weapon episodes.
All the Lethal Weapon.
Even the one this season was the weakest of the Lethal Weapon episode.
It was.
But it was still really entertaining.
Yeah. Charlie Work is always a really great one. And then where they do like when they swap days, they swap days and like Charlie does Dee's day and Dee does Charlie's day. That's genius. But and then of course from like the last season or 2, the texting episode when they're at the zoo is amazing. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend because that's pure comedy.
Nobody's still watching. Just you 2. It's okay.
I still watch it. I know people that still watch it. I have other friends. They watch it.
Are they on the internet? Are they real? ?
Yes.
Are they from Canada?
Yes, one of those.
Are they from Canada? Were they ex-girlfriends?
Yeah, I mean they cash the checks, so they must be real. Cool. It's still good.
Sounds legit.
If you don't like that episode, the zoo episode, then there's something wrong with you.
I've been told that.
Or another thing wrong with you. Yeah.
All right. I think we are at the Ask Me Anything portion of the show. Jeremy, you're up. I give you a fake question, or you can do your own question. Why do you like me more than all the other hosts? Andy Larson and Jeremy.
Oh, this is to me?
Yeah, that's to you. These are cool. These are questions to you. You can answer them or pass.
Or deflect.
Yep. Or make Pete answer.
On your behalf.
Yeah, on your behalf. Why do you like Jeremy more than the rest of those?
All right, I'll try and be like nice here, I guess, actually. And be like, I love Jeremy because we get along very well whenever we're talking about comics, and we, always, our passion comes out when we're talking about it. And I always have a great time when we're going to shows or just sitting around, because actually Jeremy's had sleepovers at my house where he would come. He came over. That came off wrong.
There's nothing awkward. No, it's perfect. Old man, you got that? You got that?
We're gonna 7:44. Let's go. Go ahead.
Jeremy just came over and just hung out at my place, and we've talked about comics and looked at my comics, and then had beers, and then Jeremy passes out on the couch. So
he's looked at yours, and you looked at his. I get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so we're both this much of a nerd. Jeremy kicked out his roommate, and so now he's gonna build a comic room in his house, and I'm actually gonna do the same.
Is this breaking news?
Yep.
Jeremy, you kicked out your roommate.
And Andy Larson, are you using the basement bedroom? Is that your comic room?
Yeah, the guest bedroom is gonna be the comic room.
Or is it an addition because your comic collection is much bigger than? No. Okay. All
it's
right.
expanded anyway.
I don't want to say that your background is much better than everybody else's background. Kudos.
I put thought into it.
Yeah, Jeremy, we see a bike, stationary bike. Pete, we see a white door. Pete,
that's my bathroom.
Yeah, is it a master bathroom?
No, it's just the one off my office.
All right, jacuzzi tub.
Not that you'll find out.
All right, your question, Peter. Ask me anything.
Oh my gosh.
It's in the doc if you want to.
No, I know. I've known Andy Larson for so long, so I'm trying to think what would be a good question to prompt.
Do you love me?
Here's my question, I guess, for all the college friends that we have, right? Because still a good group of us together. Who is the most memorable from like an how you met them perspective?
No pressure.
No pressure.
How I met them.
Or how much you love them more than the other of your college friends. I'm gonna edit that part.
We have. I don't know if you're kind of fishing for a compliment here, Peter, but it's like.
Well, I'm not.
That's not what Peter does.
No, how we met is what prompted the question, though. Like, oh, I know our story, but I don't know how you've met everybody that, like, all of our college friends. I don't necessarily, like, I have zero idea how you and Old Man met. I have zero idea.
We kind of had different circles of friends to start, but kind of like what the group of friends that you're, kind of relating to right now. I got introduced to, I guess, your crowd through Dave Lofgren, and I remember that. But I knew you kind of before, like a lot of those other people, because Pete, you and I were in freshman comp together, like spring of freshman year. I remember it was spring, and then
you noticed the other redhead in the room.
Yeah, so right, it was like magnets drawn together. But I remember like near the end we each had to give our stupid like speech based on a paper, and I remember I did my surprise, I did my paper on censorship, the history of censorship in comic books, and I had a handout, and Pete remembered me because I talked about Spider-Man, so he called me the Spider-Man guy, and Pete did his on his like freshman drinking incident. So I remembered him as .32. So and I also remember .32, and then anyway we saw each other at a couple random parties. I remember Pete, and then and I remember seeing you walking across the Washington Avenue Bridge, and I'm like, noticed, hey, that guy.
Don't jump. Sorry.
I was walking behind Peter, and I noticed, like, man, that guy has huge calves. And then I'm like, oh, that's that guy that I've met that was in my freshman comp class. So it became this running joke that Peter and I, as we talked later on in college, like, yeah, you're that guy with the huge calves. And for years he would kind of flex his calves when he was around me on purpose just to tease me. And but anyway, like, so how I got, but I remember coming over to 318 for the first time, and it was with David Lofgren, and you guys were having a party, and I remember he told me where it was, like Lofgren told me where it was. He'd gotten a little bit earlier, and I rode my bike over to your house, and I didn't know where Dave was, so I was saying like, where's Dave Lofgren? And then I rode my bike into the back because I'm realizing, like, where should I put my bicycle that I just rode over here to this party? And Todd Myers was sitting on a lawn chair on top of a car in the back of the house.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was like 5 different parties. You got to be more.
So I'm like, I don't know where to put my bike. I forgot my bike lock. And Todd Myers says, just throw it in the bushes. So I picked it up and I threw my bicycle in the bushes. And I'm like, can you see it? And Todd says, nope, you're good. And gave me the thumbs up. So then I knew I was good. And then so I went in the house, and that's kind of when I met all you guys kind of for the first time at your place there at 318.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember when you kind of met the rest of it. So that was it. Was 318. I mean, I generally don't remember, like.
Yeah, I think
I know we always kind of had interactions randomly, but
I remember there was a beta party, like Beta Theta Pi, like frat party that I think you were at, Pete, with Todd Myers or something, and I think I talked to you there, and maybe Jeremy, I don't remember, or maybe it was
I went to a couple of those parties too.
Okay.
But then,
so I think that leads us into some best sports stories. Peter Martin, has anything ever happened?
Peter Martin is the best.
FORT.
Oh, Fort stories? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, Fort.
To your old house here.
Oh,
this
man.
is an 18+ show, right?
Yeah, I mean,
honestly,
just this last weekend.
Yeah, he was just there.
Well, no, we talked.
yeah.
Okay.
The one where Peter Martin woke up without a shirt on.
Oh yes, that's awesome.
That one time he woke up one time. You have to be more specific.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Is that when you?
That's how I met.
Called me and
no, that was a different time. You dink. You didn't pick me up.
I was
wanted me to walk home in a dress like 8 blocks.
I was sleeping. I was very tired.
No, I forgot about that. Yeah, like so that's how I met most of Larson's roommates, right? And that group was waking up the first time I went there. Like, Larson, I don't know how we got hooked up that night. And he said, "Oh, come back to my place." And yeah, I woke up shirtless on his couch, surrounded by his roommates and a couple of their like girlfriends or whatever, and they're watching like The Price Right. I had zero idea what was going on. Like I couldn't quite recall. Like it was kind of fuzzy. Like okay, yeah, I kind of remember where I am now. Never found my shirt. Like look around at these 5 people watching TV. I'm like, hey, you guys seen a shirt? I love that shirt too. It was actually a shirt I got from Andy Larson's wife.
It was Stone Temple Pilots, right?
Yeah, it's a great shirt. I only had it like 6 months.
I remember you like calling me up later and asking me to keep an eye out for your Stone Temple Pilots t-shirt that you lost, and we never found it. Like I asked everybody.
No, it's probably still somewhere around the house, like probably outside somewhere.
Can you describe said t-shirt?
Oh, I can, absolutely. It was all 4 members: Eric Kretz, Dave DeLeo, Robert DeLeo, who's the other DeLeo? Dean DeLeo, and Weiland, and their heads are cut out, like it's their heads floating with like popsicle sticks under them. I still remember it to this day.
Are they performing karate?
God damn it. Weiland's dead, first of all.
How dare you?
Show some respect. Show some respect.
So there were a couple brothers that were in the band together. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, the DeLeo brothers.
Yeah, the DeLeo brothers. Yeah.
I never knew.
Yeah,
I never heard you talk about it ad nauseum.
No, it's it's very private to me. Very personal.
The question is STP your favorite 90s cover band? I mean, band.
Cover band.
I mean,
is STP personal to you, or the loss of that T-shirt personal to you? What are we talking about here?
Yes. Yep.
Was that a T-shirt you got?
No, I really did like the shirt. I like blue shirts, and it was a beautiful shade of blue. It was a medium, which fit me perfectly back then.
Medium.
Yeah. Well, no, back then it was probably legit. Nowadays, not so much.
It'd be a little tight now.
Yeah, it would not fit over the moves.
Yeah. You could wear it probably, but you'd be uncomfortable.
Well, let's be honest too.
Leave nothing to the imagination.
I got man shoulders now. It wouldn't fit over the man shoulders either.
That's it.
Those delts. Like, there's no way you get those over those.
No way.
No.
And like pants, it's not the waist that gets me on the jeans. It's the thighs, because of my man thighs. So that's why I need the 46.
Thighs like a full
gigantic quad. Like
Andy Larson knows. You heard him talk about the calves.
But he hardly
know what other validation you need.
He never talks about the quad.
When there's so much to talk about, you just focus on the best thing, which are the calves. 20 years later, still the same.
But to be honest, there's multiple things that are worth talking about.
Yeah, I mean, how much time do you got? That's really
quads,
the question.
Hammies, pecs, flat.
Don't get me started.
This podcast has devolved into something no one would ever want to listen to.
No, God, no. And before this, they would have. That's the sad thing. Like before this, people are hooked. They would have been all in.
They're not listening anyway.
Even the people that love it, like your wives would be like, "No, I don't want to listen to the rest of this. Like this is just."
Well, they don't want. I mean, I know Steph doesn't like it when I get objectified. Like she just doesn't care for that. So, what are you laughing at? I'm sorry. Did I miss something?
Go with that, buds.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So Larson's house. Yes, that was sort of my introduction to that group. Like, so would you have met Old Man? Sorry, this is going way back now. At our house back then on 318, probably. Like, do you remember Larson the first time you met Old Man or Bruiser?
Yeah, I remember like watching movies over there or something random too.
Whoa. We're not talking about the movie.
Hold on. When we watched movies, did you bring your own milk? Because this was my favorite oddball thing. I got 2 things that I'll never forget about Andy Larson that don't involve drinking necessarily. A, he always brought milk to sober events. like, oh, let's just go out and grab a pizza and watch a movie. And B, if you woke up at Andy Larson's house after a night of drinking, you're gonna see the undies. You're gonna just see the undies.
Oh, and the robe.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And the robe. And the robe and the undies.
By undies, you mean the whitey tighties, right?
No, they were colored. They were like that. They were the tighties, but they were white.
They were colored.
Wow.
They were colored whitey tighties.
Yep.
I did not know this.
Yep. So you'd see Big Andy, Little Andy, everything. It was awesome. I loved it.
Medium Andy.
There was a story about spin once. I remember that.
So the question was, when you
what?
came over to watch movies, was it on a Sunday morning at 3:18? Because if it was, I'm sorry.
Then it was
that. I think they were like John Woo movie. There was like a John Woo day or something.
No,
Thanks.
they were.
That
Just,
was very. No. He's talking about a different day.
He's talking about the replacement killers, right? Was it replacement killers?
Yeah.
Right.
Replacement Killers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other great day I remember was Liquid Television, MTV. Like they had some sort of marathon, and
you and I. That was you and I's day, old man. That was our day.
But like it felt like 20 people came in and out while we were sitting there.
It turned in. Well, I mean, that's when we came up with Daddy Sold on it. You know.
So that was a real band. Let's not tell people that it was fake. That was a real band, real ska band. And
but yeah,
go ahead.
The day started with we were gonna watch Liquid Television all day. Like that was how the day started. It was you and I talked. We're like, we're gonna watch Liquid Television all day
and not drink.
And then we're like, well, instead of not drinking, let's get a keg because that makes
right. Because Cernex is a block and a half away. Let's go get a keg and bring it back to the.
We got a keg in your old pickup truck, and it just rolled around in the back.
The Ranger, yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
Like it was, we put it in the back, and then it rolled to the front and hit the cab.
Yep.
And then it rolled right back to the back again, and we're like, well, that's all shooken up, but we're gonna drink it anyways. And
it'll settle by the time we get it.
And then other people started bringing liquor over, and then we started watching Liquid Television at like 7 a.m. and drinking out of the keg.
And I remember you being very excited about Ann Fluff like the entire time.
Yeah, no, that was my shit, man.
That was your jam. You loved Ann Fluff.
It was dry, it was slow, and it was pretty boring. So it fits.
How dare you?
That's something he would.
Makes sense.
How dare you?
I'm just saying. I distinctly recall falling asleep at the movie, the live action movie with Charlize, I believe.
Charlize Theron. Yeah, Charlize Theron. Excuse me, Charlize.
Possibly the most beautiful woman Michael Schwartz has ever seen.
Probably the most beautiful in that movie.
Yeah.
But the movie, I fell asleep. Got a really good nap out of that.
So I have an image of like, so we're back to old man at 3:18. I have an image in my head of old man in this. I can't remember if it was a recliner or not, but there was like a comfy chair in that living room at 3:18, and old man was like always in that chair. Does it ring a bell? Like whenever there was TV being watched anyway, or movies?
There's a possibility, but like I didn't live there. Like I don't know why I would be there.
You didn't pay rent.
You were there all the time. You were there all the time.
But
there was this like kind of comfy chair that old man was in that chair, and he would kind of like laugh at me and roll his eyes at me all the time, judging.
Wait.
That does not sound like me at all.
I might have exaggerated a little bit there, but
no, I was totally doing that. That was awesome.
But I think there was also like Last Man Standing. That was a movie I think I watched over there.
Oh yeah, I remember watching that movie there.
Yeah, we did a party with Dave Lofgren there, the Last Man Standing party, which was you had to take a shot every time Bruce Willis shot someone 4 times after they were already dead. It happens a lot.
How can you remember this 20 years later?
Because these are like impressionable things.
Yes,
I remember that one. Yeah.
And we did a party too there where we watched Tombstone, where we drank scotch every time. What's his name? Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. Every time he drank scotch in the movie, we drank scotch. I do not remember that night.
So Pete claims he's never really seen Tombstone somehow. Like he missed that.
Did you forget 1997?
I've seen Tombstone. I didn't drink the scotch though, because I'm not an idiot. I'm not doing that. Well, I'm an idiot, but I'm not an idiot about that. If I should clarify.
You have standards. I forget.
I have standards. No, since the incident Andy Larson talked about, I don't drink the hard stuff. That's just not my style.
So, Jeremy, do you have a fort story that you would like to? Have we talked about what the fort was?
Well, the fort to me was just where Andy Larson was. I mean, I remember.
Do you know why it was called the fort?
I don't. I just know it was called the fort. I guess I don't know why.
Go ahead, Andy Larson.
It was called the fort because it was just a bunch of ROTC guys living there, and it actually was called the fort probably about 8 or 10 years before I ever lived there, because it was like there was like a dentist guy that owned the house, and when his kid was at the U of M going through ROTC, he was like, one of the smartest dads ever, and said, "Hey, I'm not paying for my kid to live in the dorms or rent someplace for 4 years. I'm going to buy a house and have him rent it out to all of his friends." And so it ended up being this thing where it just continually for like over 10 years, like ROTC cadets lived in the house, and then so I got to move in and near the end of my college career. But yeah, just a bunch of ROTC guys living there for over 10 years.
How have we not talked about the greatest event to occur at the fort, which was you meeting your now wife there?
Oh, actually, I think the first time I met her was actually at 318, but it was kind of in passing.
Oh, really?
But then it was like a party at we went to Gastoff's, and I just remember thinking there's a Gastoff's, and we had the after party at my house, and that's like, there's a story that Jessica even brings up.
Totally necessary after Gastoff's.
Yeah, right. So we were at Gastoff's, and then
there was an after party.
It was like she'd come to kind of see you, Peter, and I just remember in the back of my head, I remember like for some reason, some of the girls that like Peter tend to like me too. So that's why I started hitting on her, and then. And I asked her for her phone number, and then she rode to my house in like whatever car you were in on the way over, and she told you that I had asked her for her phone number, and you apparently laughed the entire rest of the way.
Maybe. I was loaded though. Gastoff's was a really good place to not remember leaving me. Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah.
So that was not personal. I'll just put it that way.
Let's be honest, Jeremy was never loaded at Gastoff. Not one time.
No. Well, he didn't like drinking.
He was always very sober. He never stole a Mario Calabar shirt. Classic. Never did anything.
Oh my God, I did do that. I did do that.
Wait, what? No.
Jeremy.
Can I just say though that they closed down, which is sad to me. Like, it's sad that there's a generation that won't get to experience the fun of going there and like going through. Yeah, but when you have like 4 or 5 liters of beer, it's really fun. It's really fun.
I can't be held responsible for my stupid actions.
That's exactly actually how responsibility works. But
that is true. That is true.
Yeah, that's sad to me that place is shutting down, or has shut down, I should say.
Yeah. It just shut down a couple years ago, or a year or two ago, or something, for real.
During COVID, sometime during COVID. It was a couple years ago. Because they and the people, the Mario had sold it like a year before that, or a year or two before that. So he got out at a time.
Okay. I guess I did go there in 2019. 2019 was the last time I was there, so I guess I was there fairly recent.
Oh, is that when we went with Luke?
Yes. Oh, that's right. You were there too.
Yeah. Yeah, and is that where Malcolm got his own boot?
No, that was good.
You're not sharing that? No.
That was at Glick's. He did that at Glick's.
Was that at Glick's he got his own boot? Okay. I just remember with one place he had his own boot, and he's like, no, this is for me. I'm like, oh, noted.
And he drank it in like half an hour.
Not sharing.
Oh, yeah, he finished that when I finished like my pint. Yeah. Like, all right, I'm not going to try to keep up with this guy. Those days are gone.
So we have a few minutes left, maybe a couple, any other parting, anything else you got? Any other last stories, favorite Larson story?
No, I'm personally very tickled that Andy Larson and his family chose to move back. It's awesome having him back in town again for, too many years. They were gone. Was it 15, 16 years you guys were gone? Something like that.
You're gonna do a nice story.
Nice.
I honestly, out of all, like, there's so many people, like Andy and Larson and I have never had, from what I recollect, a bad moment, which is crazy. Like, we've never had even like a dumb guy fight where you, like, you and I, old man, where I kicked the door down when you locked me out and I got mad because I was loaded. Like, we didn't even have anything. Larson and I didn't even have anything that dumb. Like, I don't recall anything like that. I don't know.
Where I broke your window or cutting board or...
I wasn't there for that one. I wasn't there for that.
I was there for that. I was there for those
where I left and said, "Fuck these guys, I'm never coming back."
When you're
back the next night
out of the shadows at me like full aggression, and then fell over and knocked the cutting board in half, and then just got up and ran out of the house. That was pretty awesome. that was pretty epic. That was pretty epic.
It doesn't sound like me.
No.
All right. Well, thank you, Andy Larson. I know we're running out of time, but
Thank you for inviting me.
You can come back anytime.